sisters, it's me, Morgan Tracy J, coming today to talk to you with the weekly devotional all about allowing God to leave you speechless. I'm drinking some chai tea with a little bit of almond milk, and I just wanted to go ahead and record this video and just talk to you guys, uplift and inspire you, empower you. And so I want to talk to you about when God leaves you speechless and allowing Him to do it. But it really starts with us. Honestly, there are three major things I can think of just right now off the top of my head when God has truly left me speechless. Let me just think of one. Once I was getting ready to speak at this conference, and just in that moment, God reminded me of a word He gave me years ago, and I was getting ready to go on stage and speak, and I just knew at that moment, like, I just was such in awe, like, it really happened. Like, it was like I had no words. I just remember breaking down and crying. Like, that's how powerful all moments are, and when God leaves you speechless. That was one of mine. Another one was when I got out of a relationship that I had been knowing to get out of it for so long. You know when God is telling you, like, step away from here, get away from here, he's not the one, step away. And you're like, And when finally you do, I had the awe moment after it happened. Like, it was just like, oh, this is what I was supposed to be doing the whole time. Like, it was amazing. And another awe moment was when I really experienced the favor of God on a Thursday. I remember Wednesday I was out at the library and I thought, I'm going to get a job. By that Friday, I had a job. Crazy. Like, the job was mine full time. Like, it was crazy. And that was like another awe moment where I was like, what? I just told myself on Wednesday, like, you're going to get a job this week. And I wasn't doing anything to pursue it, okay? But it was just so crazy. And so I want to talk to you about, like, those are the all moments you have, and it leaves you speechless. There's actually a verse in the Bible where it says, the people were in a sense of awe, a deep sense of awe and, like, reverence for the Lord. It's almost like you're left stuck and you're stunned by what God is doing. And I think that is the message of today is if you don't feel like God has left you speechless in, let's say, a year, in some months, most likely it's because you're not expecting enough. You may not be expecting God to move in your life. You may not be expecting God to move on a certain situation. And as you have that expectancy, also you have to tie that with obedience. So if God is saying, I need you to put this application in at this place, I need you to step out on your fear, and I need you to go and do this thing, whatever it may be, when you're obedient to God and you have an expectancy, God will leave you speechless. The reason why I'm even talking about this is because when you decide to choose her, you have to understand that God is going to leave you speechless. When He begins to show you more and more of who you are, and then pieces of her start to just show up in your life, you're like, oh my gosh. Like, He's going to leave you speechless no matter what your gifts are, no matter what your calling is, no matter if it's applying to a university, no matter if it's going after a new job, creating your own thing, entrepreneurship, whatever it may be, girl, let Him leave you speechless. Let Him leave you speechless. And when I'm saying that, I'm meaning let Him put such an awe on you that you gotta just praise. You can't even speak. You gotta just dance. I have a blog post on my website about this situation where when God leaves you speechless, dance. There's been seasons where God has left me so speechless that I've had to just dance it out, because no word could ever say thank you enough. No word could say, oh my gosh, like, God, you did the thing. No word I didn't have the words to say that at the time. And I was speechless. And God can leave you speechless, but first, be willing to adhere and listen. Incline your ear, girl, to the word of God, to the voice of God, to the vision of God, to the calling that God has on you. And incline your ear to that and begin expecting. Begin to see that vision more clearly. If you've been getting foggy in some places, get that vision back. Oh yeah, and most of all, let Him leave you speechless. Be willing to incline that ear. Be willing to walk out. Be willing to be obedient. Let Him leave you speechless, because you're going to be so overwhelmed in His love. And as I'm talking about this, it just lets me realize again how far God has brought me. And most of all, when you think about your journey and where God has really just showed up for you in your life, like, you get so excited for what's to come and what you're going to encounter next. Honestly, it's overwhelmingly beautiful. It's overwhelmingly joyful. But allow Him to leave you speechless. I wish I could just explain it to you. Like, I wish I could have captured some of these moments where I would be like, after I got the job in my car, like, just driving, like, oh my gosh, or even the moment like at the women's event where I'm just like, oh my gosh, like it just hits you, and he leaves you so speechless. So ladies, that's what I want to tell you this week. Get obedient to God. But if you have not been desiring for God to leave you speechless, if you haven't been desiring for God to come and do something amazing in your life, girl, get to it, get to work on it, get to expecting. If you got to sit down with your journal, let me just show you. If you have to sit down with a journal and just get to, can you see that? Can you see that? I don't know if you, oh, let me get it back here. If you have to sit down with your journal and just get to writing, write for your dreams, write what you're grateful for, write for what you're expecting God to do. I don't know how many times, at least a week, I write my life plan. I write it out again. Do this. Look, I write it out so much. Masters in theology. Like, I literally be writing all this stuff out. So begin to write, girl. You got it. Let God leave you speechless, because it's usually when you're like not even thinking about it, you're like focused on everyday life, and then he just drops it in your lap and you're like, oh crap, I prayed for this. That's how it happens. It's so beautiful. It's so amazing. So let him leave you speechless. And I'll pray somehow this video, this journal, this chai tea and some almond milk uplifts and empowers you, because you need to allow God to leave you speechless, girl. We get too complacent, we get too comfortable, we get too focused on our own self, including myself. We get too focused on our schedule that we don't expect to see God anymore. And the truth of the matter is you must see God. You must expect to see him, because the more of an expectancy comes, when you have that expectancy and when he shows up, he gets all the glory. When he gave me the job, he got all the glory. When he allowed me to get to that conference, he got all the glory. When he allowed me to walk out of some things that he had been calling me out for seasons and seasons, he got all the glory, because he had already shown it to me. I want to tell you, that's how God gets the glory, because he shows it to you and then he does it and you're like, only God could do that. Only God could do that. So that's my message. Allow him to leave you speechless, boo. He's got you. He loves you. And I'll see you in my next one. Thank you for being a part of the Choose Her series. Be sure you invite a friend over. We can do this thing together. I have some more videos coming this week for some inspiration. And so I love you guys, and I will see you in my next one.